The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. I was at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the ring, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 244th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz, and I'm the host of this lovely show. Joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr., my man. How are you doing?
Dude, my PS5 is fixed, so I'm doing great.
There you go.
Like all that banging that everybody got to do that first week that I had to miss out on, I'm kind of making up for it this week. Just hours and hours of incessant playing, and it's been amazing. So,
love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. I've been enjoying my calm tranquility when it comes to work because our coverage of high school football starts next week. So on Monday, everything starts getting crazy, and I have no time off, basically. So I got a couple more days where I get to be a little bit chill, and then we just go right into gear. So, plus, I am very much excited for the fact that we got a TNA show announced in Detroit. I can't remember the last time Detroit got a TNA show. We got Bound for Glory going in Detroit in October. I
have been to, quite a few TNA shows, but I am excited for you, Bound for Glory. Especially with the WWE partnership they got going on, they're going to have some big matches, some big people there, so that is all really cool. So I'm excited for you. I hope you get to go. It's gonna be a good chance. Anytime you get a chance
if I can just get Joe Hendry, because like I said, it's not even for the fact that Joe Hendry is the biggest thing in indie wrestling right now. It's just the fact that, dude, I watched this guy in WCPW. I've been meaning to see Joe Hendry at a show when he came to the States in a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hyped about that, but we got a lot of stuff to get to right now with this episode of All Things Elite. We had a really strong Dynamite, I felt like. I really enjoyed what we got on this show, and I want to go ahead and get into all of that. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and tell you guys that you should be downloading the show on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever you choose to listen to us on. We appreciate it when you guys download the show. It means the world to us. And even if you don't, whatever you listen to us on, give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and follow us on Twitter. We are at ATElitePod. You can also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible, and you should check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ, and Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And the news of the week still continues to be the biggest thing hanging right now of just fans kind of looking at this being like, when are we going to get any information on this? It's the TV deal. Are we getting a new TV deal? Are we not getting a new TV deal? And we're getting weird stuff where it's like, we don't have a new TV deal announced for Dynamite or for any of that stuff, but we do have a new show airing after Collision called Overdrive that is featuring AEW wrestlers, and it's like AEW ridiculousness is the only way I can describe it. Where they just tell stories and give some thoughts while they show a whole bunch of crazy like caught on camera stuff. So we've got a new show that features AEW talent on TNT, yet no inclination of if the rights renewal is happening. It's very weird. It seems like one would happen before the other, not the other way around. You know what I mean?
I think, this is me not knowing anything, speaking as a fan, that this only can be a good thing.
Yes.
Because they're putting more equity into the AEW brand, more brand building into the AEW brand. So if this show was literally going to in danger of not being on Warner Brothers Discovery, do you think they would be putting more time into it? So I don't think so. Tony Khan was in Paris this last weekend and a couple days this week, meeting with Zasloff from Warner Brothers Discovery, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, and he said they had some productive conversation. And he said we're about to announce the biggest deal in the history. We're headed towards the announcement of the biggest deal in AEW history, which is it's only 5 years. So, but technically, it would be their third TV deal because they got the first one. They picked up the option for the 5 years, added 2 new shows. Like I said, it's like their third or fourth TV deal because they've expanded and extended. So I think the signs are good. I mean, everybody that listens to this show knows what I want. I want the TV deal. I want Dynamite. Honestly, I would be okay with Dynamite and just Collision. And then if you want to do a third show that's kind of like this Overdrive or backstage show or something, that would be great. I'm not, I like Rampage, don't get me wrong, but unless they're going to put some more oomph in Rampage, it's I wouldn't be too disappointed if it went away.
Right.
And then of course we got ROH. So the thing I want in the TV deal is the 10-year deal. That's what I want, 10 years. And I want pay-per-views to be on HBO Max. That's what I want as a fan.
I was going to say, yeah, that seems to me like that would be the best case scenario for us right now. As
a fan. And that's what I'm like. AEW needs to do what's best for AEW. Tony Khan, businessman. I trust that they're going to do what's best for AEW. So that goes without saying. But for fans, to make it easier to follow, to have the pay-per-views on HBO Max where literally it's, $10 a month, I think what it is, and you can just be able to keep up with the brand. That makes you comparable on the level of WWE because, even though their pay-per-view business does well, I think you would get more eyes on the product if they can just go to a streaming site just like fans do with WWE. And a 10-year deal just ends the conversation. All the people that say AEW will be out of business in 5 years, all the people that say AEW this, that, it just ends the conversation. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can just enjoy our product. They can put out the best stories out, and it's if you want that over there, go get that over there. But this is what we have over here. So, that would be my dream scenario, but we will see where it goes. Now, if ROH could find a TV spot, that would make me warm and fuzzy, extra warm and fuzzy, but getting those pay-per-views on streaming, that's a big deal to me. I don't know how everyone else feels, but it is. I don't think about it because I'm supporting the company, but when you start doing the math of the numbers that you're paying a year for pay-per-view, yeah.
Oh, it adds up.
It adds up. Like
I said, when AEW kept adding more and more shows, that was the more and more that I'm all for more pay-per-views. I'm all for more shows to look forward to. You make it a lot easier for us to handle that when you put the pay-per-views on streaming, so I don't have to, pay $50 for a show or whatnot. Not to mention that if you don't get the DVDs for certain shows and you want to rewatch them, like say Triller TV, what used to be Fight, has it where you can buy all of AEW's pay-per-view library basically in full for as many repeat watchings as you'd like. That's a lot of money on top of the money that I already spent watching it the first time. So again, you put it on streaming, and you make it like that, it's so much easier to handle.
Yep, but I only want to do it I can honestly say this. I want it done as a fan, but only if it works for AEW. You know what I mean? I know they have their whole, they're in a business. So I want the business side to do good, even though I know nothing, they just do their thing. But
For sure.
No, but AEW, I don't know if they listen to the show. I don't feel like they do, but I have made a big deal about they should make stuff matter more as far as when they do these big shows. They when they're doing big shows or anniversaries or something.
Yes, you'd have said that. Yes.
Yeah, they should pull it out. Dynamite, the 5-year anniversary. When you go to AEW tickets, it says 5-year anniversary in big numbers.
Has a giant 5 over top of it.
Yes, that's literally all I'm asking for. Tony Schiavone said on Dynamite, as we head towards the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. Now, I do want them to push that show a little bit harder. I mean, that would be my preference. Just be like, okay, the 5-year anniversary is doing, and then something big happens. Now, I had gotten out of the business of predicting when they're going to announce the TV deal. But I'm going to make one final prediction. They're going to announce it at the 5-year anniversary show.
Okay.
That's my final one. I'm done. If they don't announce it at that show or before, I'm never talking about it again until it's announced. I promise. But it just seems like like I said, they had the 5-year anniversary of AEW existing, and we heard nothing. Nothing. So now we got the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. There's a big 5 there. I feel like it's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I actually already looked up flights. Talked to my boy Josh. I think I'm going to go there because, I was at the first one, be at the 5th one, and it's actually the same day. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019 was the first episode of Dynamite. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 will be the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite, actually to the day. So I was like, yeah, I can swing that. It's a couple-day trip. I've never been to Pittsburgh, so that knocks a place off my list. So I am excited about that. I just think, like every fiber in my being, that it's either going to be on or before that date that was announced. And honestly, if it gets that far in the year without it being announced, that's when I'll probably, as a person, probably start worrying. Like, are we getting a deal?
Yeah, if it gets that far ahead, I'm going to be like, what's taking so long for y'all to just say what the hell is happening?
Yeah, because a deal in principle, that's great for a few weeks. A deal in principle for a few months seems a little weird. So, I don't know. Again, this is me not speaking as any type of expert in TV negotiations or anything. This is me speaking as a fan. It just would look weird to me. So
I would agree with that fact. I would say that, this is a bit odd that this is the case if you don't.
Because I feel like they're just saving it for something big, and that'll be like a couple, like the Dynamite before Wrestle Dream. So we will see. But I'm excited. I felt like the new TV show, even though it was probably recorded a while ago, I think that's a good sign. They don't generally put more equity in something they don't believe in. So
that's what I would think as well.
Yeah. So I don't be like, hey, my restaurant's failing. Let's open up another location. I don't.
Yeah, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if that's the case.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about that one. Otherwise, it would just me repeating the same points over and over again.
So I think that means it's a good time to go ahead and get into this episode of Dynamite that was from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We
FTR country.
We'll get to that. And we opened up with the AEW American Championship Eliminator match that was set up from last week's show, where it's MJF versus the protostar, Kyle Fletcher, with Don Callis on commentary for his Don Callis family member in this match. And it was a really, really good opening match.
It was, and they're going to
be really good.
Yeah, they're going to be feuding for, like, in wrestling and putting on bangers for years to come. But I got a question. Did you know what a protostar was? I had to Google it to find out. That's why I'm asking. Is this like common knowledge what a protostar is?
I just thought, he basically combined prototype with star and like superstar, basically. So he's the prototype for what you want a star to be.
Oh, see? And you know what? That would make sense. But you know what a protostar is?
Go ahead.
A newborn son. A new star is a protostar.
Okay.
Yeah, so it actually is fitting because he's the next, like, star in wrestling or whatever. So It's like he's in his infancy as a star. So, yeah, like when a star is created or born or whatever, it's a protostar.
Fair enough. I thought it was just a combo word. You know what I mean?
Google machine. Floyd is not smart. Floyd doesn't actually do science or astronomy. I don't do any of that shit, but I just like... I had to know if it was a real thing or if it was like a wrestling nickname, you know, like the Stone Pitbull. Like, there's no such thing as a Stone Pitbull, but it sounds fucking cool.
Oh, sure.
So I was wondering, so I Googled it. So Protostar is a new star. Actually made me want to buy a shirt. I've become a bigger and bigger Kyle Fletcher fan because I honestly can say I was always an Aussie Open fan.
There you go.
I was always an Aussie Open fan. They were my tag team in waiting, blah, blah, blah. We could go a whole lot of lines about how I fucking love that tag team. But I never saw Kyle Fletcher as an individual. And they are doing a good job of just showing you how good he is. And, yeah, I think he could be that next guy. Because you've seen them, what they've done with people like Orange Cassidy. And, what they've, your boy Jack Perry, what they've done with people like him, they have, really, when they put that machine behind it, it's used for lack of a better term, they generally can get somebody over. But Kyle Fletcher's 6'3", 6'4", young, good looking, amazing moveset, great in-ring worker. Him and MJF went at it. The end was interesting to me, though.
Yeah, we'll get to the end. But yeah, you were right, though. Like, maybe if Kyle Fletcher is lucky enough, he can become a fast food sponsor like Jack Perry.
Yes. Hey. Taco. The opinions of Floyd and what I'm about to say are my opinions alone, not opinions of Austin or anyone else that is on this show or on the network. Taco Bell is garbage.
We're gonna get to it. We'll get into the conversation about that in a little bit. But
yes.
Oh, he's ass. Okay, sticking on topic. Yes, the ending of this match, though, because again, this crowd was hot from jump, like loving this match. Kyle was doing a whole bunch of great stuff. As this happens, though, we have a moment where Kyle Fletcher, he flies. He flies through the second turnbuckle and he gets lifted up. Then, he tries to get a top rope brainbuster. That shit was scary too. Like they were hanging there. Eventually, though, MJF goes for the Long Island Sunrise, but Kyle gets out of it and hits a great pile driver. But then Don Callis gets off mic, which also I will say this is something I only just recently noticed. They moved the commentators back up to the top of the ramp. It was just something I just read. Getting off topic, but I was just like, oh shit, they moved them.
I didn't notice until you just said it. I'm like, oh yeah, they did move them.
Just like literally, they just moved them up there, and I was just like, what the hell? Okay, so either way, we then had Don Callis get off of commentary, and he goes up, and he proceeds to throw a screwdriver into the ring while the referee is distracted, trying to give Kyle Fletcher the go-ahead to win the match. He thinks about it, he doesn't do it, and then he tosses it away. And when he tosses it away, oopsie-poopsie, he just leaves himself completely wide open to get just destroyed by MJF with a low blow. Then he proceeds to hit the kangaroo kick, which was also pretty damn. Honestly, we make fun of that move. This is probably the most vicious kangaroo kick I've seen him do. Like the fucking slingshot of that drop kick that sent him into the turnbuckle. And then eventually he hits a brainbuster and he gets the victory. And Kyle Fletcher takes the loss. Eventually, he's basically yelling at Will Ospreay like his blood is on your hands, because he busts open Kyle Fletcher too afterwards, and he's bleeding from his head. And then Will Ospreay was barricaded by road cases as he was trying to get out of his locker room. Don't know how that managed to happen, but eventually he does get himself free, and he chases after MJF after he takes the American Championship belt, and he hit Ref Paul Turner as well with that, and then took his Dynamite Diamond ring and hit Kyle Fletcher, which caused him to get busted open. And then that's when Fletcher was gonna get hit by the Tiger Driver 91 by MJF, but Ospreay comes down and then MJF runs away. So Floyd, go ahead and you can make your comment about the ending of this.
Yes. I don't know why Kyle Fletcher was conflicted. Kyle Fletcher is in the Don Callis family, which officially makes him a bad guy. He knows how Don Callis rolls, right?
He knows what his group is about, right?
Yeah, I believe he's hit a couple people with the screwdriver. Why is he conflicted now? I don't think they did a good job of addressing beforehand why he's conflicted. Maybe they do it next week, but I would have liked a backstage segment, something on Twitter where Will Ospreay is like, don't take a shortcut, just beat, MJF, where that would lead to his change of heart.
Right. You would kind of understand why he's doing this.
Yeah, but maybe they explain it later, but it just felt like an abrupt change in personality. To say the least.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, so it felt like abrupt. Yeah, it was just abrupt. And like, okay, I would have liked, something to kind of say, hey, he's going to change it. Because he said he was fighting for his best friend. Then MJF spits in his face. Motherfucker, he deserved to be hit with the screwdriver.
Right.
Yeah, like there should have been no the title wasn't on the line.
Exactly.
Like you could have got DQ.
In fact, if you won the match, you would get a shot at the title.
Yeah, so you hit the man with the screwdriver. Like, I don't see a logical reason not to hit the man with the screwdriver. So if you give me something before in the match, Will Ospreay saying, hey, win it fair and square. Or if you come back next week and be like, hey, Will Ospreay told me to win it fair and square. Will Ospreay told me not to use a screwdriver. I'll come back and say, dude, I'm sorry. All right. I jumped the gun. I didn't let the story develop. It could happen next week, but all I'm doing is reacting in the moment. And I'm telling you exactly what I was thinking in the moment. Like, why is he not hitting him with the screwdriver? Will Ospreay has showed that he's trying to be on the straight and narrow. He doesn't want interference and all that stuff. That has not been the Kyle Fletcher. If you watch ROH, that man cheats all the time. So, like, where'd the change of heart come from? So
exactly. What was the decision to go with there?
Yeah. But I thought this match was great.
Yes.
I felt like they left a lot on the table for their future matches. And I'm hoping by the time you get 3-4 years down the line, Kyle Fletcher's on the level of MJF. They may be main event or pay-per-view because, Kyle Fletcher, people like Kyle Fletcher are the future. Will Ospreay's still fairly young, so he's still in there. MJF, definitely still the future of the wrestling. So these matches are the building blocks of what can be future. Like, these really good matches are building blocks of the future of what can be really great matches one day.
I agree with that 1,000%. And now we'll go ahead and we'll move into the next match, which was the Glamour Mariah May, my girl, versus Viva Van. Two things. One, I love the "We Want Tony" chants when she came out. I thought that was a huge, amazing move by the fans to really just, again, this feud's been spectacular, and I just love how they got into it to add that extra little bit of juice. I thought that was really good. And then we proceeded to have this is the weird thing about this match, because to me, I was immediately like, okay, this is a squash match. But despite the fact that it was it wasn't really a squash match. You would think she got a jobber entrance. Viva Van got a jobber entrance, but this match went into picture-in-picture. That threw me off. I was like, why is this in picture-in-picture?
Okay, so I know why this match might have went into picture-in-picture. Travel issues, because apparently there was a hurricane in North Carolina.
There was, yes.
And they canceled a lot of flights. And, so there were people that were supposed to be there that weren't supposed to be there. So I'm guessing it was kind of like a bare bones roster. So they just kind of did what they could.
Gotcha. That is possible with this match. Like I said, I don't know what was originally.
It felt like a couple segments, I wouldn't say dragged, but went longer than you would expect them.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and I mean, like they addressed that as well with a segment later on, which we'll get to. But I didn't know if this one specifically was affected by the travel issues. But that was a thing going into this show that there was that did happen because of, like you said, that hurricane. So which is a really, really sucky thing for sure. Like it's a true bummer in that regard. But getting into the match itself, it was all right. I thought Viva Van had some good stuff in that match. I thought the Mariah May is incredibly. I loved how she just came right out of the gate and headbutted her immediately. The kiss of death has me screaming like Dolph Ziggler. Has me screaming like it should have been me. But I love the finish. And then as she gets the victory with the Storm Zero, we then have a crew member give a mysterious present to Mariah May that's in wrapping paper. She opens it, and it's the picture of timeless Toni Storm, like just cuddled up to Mariah May in her arms, and she's got it. But then on the back of the photo, it says, "Die, Mariah, die." And then what she failed to realize was the person who gave that gift, that crew member, that was Toni Storm, and she came in and beat the shit out of Mariah May. They were fighting, and Mariah May got the high heel shoe and tried to use it. Toni Storm then took it, and before she's about to use the shoe on Mariah May, officials get in and stop them. And I'm just like, what the hell? She used the shoe already, but now you're trying to stop her from using the shoe? Like, this is turnabout's fair play. Let Toni use the shoe. But they're like trying to be separated, and crowd's going crazy with let them fight. Like, again, this feud has been spectacular. I love just the utter psychotic hatred that Toni Storm has because, I mean, she loved him. But yeah, I thought this was well done. The only thing is that I'm going to nitpick is that you could see the Die Mariah die on when she opened it. She didn't hide it well from the hard cam. Obviously, she couldn't hide it from the crowd because one side of the crowd would see the Die Mariah die on the back of it. But hide it from the hard cam a little better is the only critique I would have. Because I was already like, okay, there's something written on the back of that, and I think it's not a good thing.
So, again, I know the time could have been a thing, but I think they gave Viva Van too much in this segment.
Correct.
I just like I would have loved Mariah to be significantly more dominant. So that's a thing. Which, you know, it neither here nor there. I don't think it ruined the match or anything or any momentum. I enjoyed the end. I enjoyed afterwards. They can't do it. They cannot do it because Mercedes is doing her thing. But, dude, I feel like this whole thing with Toni Storm, adding Mariah having a heater, like a big, like Nyla or someone, or like a bodyguard to keep Toni away from her, you know, like her version of Luther.
Right.
I think would add a lot, but since you're already doing the Mercedes and Camille thing, you can't do both. I get why they're not doing it. It's just like a thing. I was like, man, if she had like a dude, like the Butcher, oh God, like the Butcher, like would be dressed like a butler or whatever, like Luther was, but he's a much more dangerous version of Luther, and he keeps Toni away or something like that. I think that would be like, that would add so much to it, but it would be kind of too similar to what's going on with Mercedes.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yes, but if this was in its own world outside of Mercedes, I would say Mariah May needs a heater, because as much as Toni attacking her was good and it was a good segment, I feel like it would be better if they didn't touch. like Mariah May avoided her.
Right, like they actively like had her running away a little bit more.
Yeah,
like the fact that they fought multiple times now, like she's gotten her hands on her, but she hasn't actually like, beat her.
Yeah, because Mariah's whole thing was avoiding a face-to-face. She snuck an attacker. She pretended like she was friends. Then she hit her with the shoe. So, like, sticking with that idea that Mariah May doesn't think she can beat Toni Storm would be great. But I understand what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, absolutely. We then... It's the funniest thing in wrestling this year. I truly thought in my heart of hearts, nothing would possibly top Okada going for the Rainmaker in the Blood and Guts match, then flipping off Swerve Strickland only to get his middle finger stapled with a staple gun. That, to me, was the funniest thing in pro wrestling. I thought there was no way anything could top that moment. I didn't think it was possible. But, the scapegoat managed to inadvertently do that himself. Oh, my God. So, Jack Perry has his video package. And he's talking about how we all need to sacrifice, saying his one thing that, was never over to begin with, but he continues to say it. But then, as he says that we all have to sacrifice, as he's watching in his, secret dungeon of like him watching all the moments where he was murdered, because this guy has some sort of fetish with him getting the shit kicked out of him because he has a pain fetish. Like, oh, here's me being the ECW guy with the unprotected chair shot to the head as I'm chained up against the cage. And then here's me setting myself on fire and nearly getting set on fire for a second time because, like I said, I'm some sort of masochist. As he says we all have to sacrifice, and it's showing all the other TNT champions, tacos appear on the screen. And it's the $7 Lux Cravings box. And it's a Taco Bell commercial with the live and AEW TBS supers still burned into the screen. The ad plays in its entirety. This entire Taco Bell ad plays uninterrupted. It doesn't just pop up accidentally and then get taken down, which would have been funny on its own right, but no, the whole ad plays in its entirety. And then Jack Perry's vignette comes back pretty much finished as he's destroying TVs and blah, blah, blah. I'm please take me seriously.
That's what you got, but I have YouTube TV. I got a completely different experience.
Oh, did you? So it didn't happen for everyone, because I was going to say immediately after that happened, I was like, that was just a me thing. There's no way that happened for everyone. Then I looked on Twitter and I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweeting about it and other people posting about it and making memes.
No, ours just cut off to Taco Bell. It's still playing in the background. No, it just cut off the Taco Bell.
No. Ours wasn't playing in the background either. No, it just cut off. Then the Taco Bell ad played, and then as it came back, it was near the end of the segment.
Oh no, there was no comeback at the end of the segment. It went into commercials, and then it came back to the whatever it was on. We missed everything.
We caught the end of the segment.
Yes, we didn't catch that.
So you missed all of it.
Yeah, I was shocked that they hadn't posted on AEW and say, "Hey, you missed this."
They did post the full video package on Twitter. They did do that.
Okay.
They just didn't be like, "Hey, for those who missed it because of Taco Bell," which would have been funny if they had said that.
Yeah, they didn't call out Taco Bell. Okay.
No, they did not call out Taco Bell. They just posted the whole thing on Twitter.
Yeah. It went to commercial. And I watched the show while talking to JR. And we went to the commercial, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that vignette was way too short or whatever.
Yeah, it was just gone.
Fucking Taco Bell ad interrupting his super please take me serious vignette. And he gets interrupted by Taco Bell.
Hey, yeah. And, like I said.
Oh, my God, I'm buying stock in Taco Bell. I've literally best fast food.
No, you didn't add the part you added last night. That was better. With the Pepsi product.
Yes, no, yeah, I was getting to it, too. It's even still, like I said, karma works in incredible ways. And it always comes. Jack Perry likes to reference the famous Justin Timberlake song, Cry Me a River. I like referencing my favorite Justin Timberlake song, What Goes Around Comes Around. You got interrupted by a Taco Bell commercial, which also just happened to have a giant ass Pepsi product placement in the Taco Bell ad. So once again, CM Punk still owns your ass. It's the funniest shit in the world. No one gives a fuck about your dog shit video package that is way too full of itself to even make any intimidating factor whatsoever. Oh, I have a pain fetish. Oh, I can break TVs. Like, already my TV nearly broke every time you came out on screen, but that's a completely different story. But you got interrupted by a fucking Taco Bell ad. Oh my God. Like I said, karma works in incredible ways. Like, it's just spectacular, you know? It's just spectacular. And again, I will buy stock in Taco Bell. I literally was going to go get some soft tacos immediately after that commercial aired. I'm like, I'm going to go get tacos right now because, God damn it, this shit made me hungry.
Dude, it was hilarious because it was like, you know, people were like, when stuff like this would happen, they would say, like, AEW, that's TNT. That had nothing to do with it. That's not AEW's fault. Yeah, that had nothing to do with it. Their feed got cut. Then it went to a Taco Bell commercial.
And yeah, it's like exactly like they couldn't stop it because it just showed because that's the thing. It showed the Taco Bell ad, and then for us, it came back to the video package, and then there was a long bit of black as we were just waiting, as that was when they were supposed to go to commercial break, and then eventually the same Taco Bell ad ran again.
Yeah, it was a trip. I bet it was really serious and really setting up everything for him and Darby. But yeah, most of us, you know, didn't see it. I'll watch it on Twitter later. But
you didn't miss anything, brother. You didn't miss anything. I will tell you right now.
Yeah. It was just funny because it was like, oh, he's super serious. Let's go.
Greatest moment in wrestling, comedy wise, like this year. Like, it is the funniest moment in all of pro wrestling. And again, like I said, it just happened to have a Pepsi. It's so good. It's so good. It's just so good, you know? Like, that's twice now. That's twice now that CM Punk has been making appearances on two different shows. Even though it wasn't Phil, but it was Pepsi Phil in spirit. In spirit. Fuck Jack Perry, that dude's ass. All right, moving on, though. We did have Darby Allin's message afterwards because he had his response to his video package. Not with tacos in his hand, unfortunately. I would love seeing Darby Allin now get a Taco Bell sponsorship just to be able to stick it to Jack Perry. That would honestly be great if he did that, you know? But he just talked about how last time they were in the ring, everyone asked why I didn't just light him on fire and end this whole thing. And he'd say, it's simple. He'd have every excuse not to show up at Wembley. And he calls him, he's like, you call yourself the TNT champion? I don't even know the last time you were on TNT. And he goes, you don't have to sacrifice any more of your time. You don't even have to show up on Rampage this Friday when I wrestle. You don't even have to show up at Collision, but you got to show up at All in London, basically. So he's just being like, you know, we know you don't show up. We know you, blah, blah. It was a fine enough promo, honestly. I was too busy laughing about tacos to, like, I couldn't even help it. Like, that, again, it doesn't help Darby, obviously, that, like, this feud has nothing. There's nothing. Like I said, he tried to set him on fire, and, like, I know he's not going to win at All In. Like, Jack's winning this match. It's not even fucking close. And I love Darby, but it's just like, you know, it's not going to happen. Like, I have
to when they set you up for a world title match already, I can go out on a limb and say you're probably not going to win the match.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I'm the reason why I'm laughing this much is because I'm not going to be laughing when All in London happens, because dumbass Jack is going to win the match and retain the belt and continue his bullshit title reign that no one cares about. So, like, I got to laugh while I can now, because it won't be funny when he has another fucking bullshit match that no one cares about and then he wins. Like, it's what it is. It is what it is, you know? Let me laugh about tacos while I can. I'll get a quesarito or something like that just to fucking get my mind off it or something. We'll move on, though, to the Bad Apple Brian Keith facing the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. I loved how we went from Darby Allin with his pink jacket to Chris Jericho coming out to commentary with his pink jacket, I wanted Shibata to have a pink towel. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but man, I was just like, if I can get the trio of pink shit, like, it would just be very funny. This is a really well done match. I think Brian Keith had some really good stuff in this. Shibata wrestled his ass off in this match. There was some unbelievable, really good stuff towards the end of this match where he was just giving great strikes and great transitions. But eventually, Shibata gets the armbar, making Brian Keith tap out after he put the iron claw on him, which I thought was awesome, tying into what he's been doing on Collision. And then that's when Jericho and Big Bill come in and they attack Shibata. They were about to take the FTW Championship and hit Shibata in the face, but then Hook makes his return, and we have another AEW superstar with an eye patch. Hook now has his own eye patch alongside his beanie that goes over his head and covering up his eyes for the most part. And he beats the shit out of Jericho until he runs away. Great return for Hook. I thought that was big, and building up to, I'm sure they'll be facing off in a FTW Rules match, I'm sure, for All In, which will be fun. Maybe it'll be an all-out match. It could be an all-out match too. But, it'll be good to see Hook get his revenge, and I would hope end this feud by winning back the FTW title.
Yeah, I had someone tell me, like, oh, man, Hook's, like this Hook thing is over. He's not working. He doesn't have star. I've seen that in a few of my chats I'm growing in. I think they've done everything they can to give him his star power back. And I thought the crowd reacted well when he came out. And I think him and Chris Jericho are going to have a big match. But the thing about when you work with Chris Jericho, generally everyone comes out better. But what are they going to do after that? You know what I mean? That's always what happens. It's like you do work with Chris Jericho, then their next feud is not ready. So I'm looking forward to that with Hook, and I'm hoping. I had a friend who was like, they feel like might be the Stadium Stampede at Wembley. Hook's group versus Jericho's group, and I was like, man, that seems like a perfect place for it.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's fair enough. So, all right. We then went backstage with Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. He was scheduled to have a rematch with the conglomeration facing Rush, the Beast Mortos, and Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Kingdom. But the rest of the conglomeration were part of the travel issues, basically. So he said, I'm still going to have the match. But I found a couple local boys who were looking for a fight.
Everyone knew who it was. The worst
local boys in Carolina. Ooh, I wonder who that could be.
Yes, everyone knew who it was. But you got your group chats and your friend posted on there like, oh yeah, it's gonna be them. I'm like, everybody's like, duh. They're like, come on, man, that was not even. They weren't even trying to hide it. Like everyone knew who it was gonna be, and yeah, it was awesome because FTR country. And the last time they wrestled in North Carolina, I was there, and it did not go well. So I was hoping we got some redemption.
Yeah, so we then had a backstage interview with Hangman Adam Page, where he said basically there was one man I wanted to get my hands on to take everything I could and leave him with nothing but the ash of his pride. But there have been other dumbasses that have been getting in my way, and justice is delayed is justice denied. He said, I will get what I want, basically. So anybody who gets in the way of Hangman Page trying to kill Mr. Swerve Strickland, just know you're going to have a bit of a issue on your hands with a crazy cowboy. So I think that's pretty fair. Now it's like Hangman's like, you want to make an enemy with me? Just get in my way and see what happens.
Dude, this is my favorite version of Hangman.
I agree.
Justified. I'm like, this is like, I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show Justified.
I've not, no.
It feels like that's what he's on his. He is the cowboy that is coming to someone crossed the line, and he crossed the line that you couldn't uncross. And like, I'm all about the rules. I'm all about having being the good guy. But once you cross the line, it's my job to knock you back to the other side of that line. And yeah, Swerve, unfortunately, is the victim of that. One of my favorite wrestlers is the one that pissed off Hangman. But like I said, even with Swerve being one of my favorite wrestlers, I can honestly say, at no point in this feud, something dramatically would have to change for me to see Hangman as the bad guy.
I understand.
Like something dramatically would have to change. Because Swerve's like, I did all this because it had to be done. Yeah, but you did it to me. That kind of thing. So it's like
exactly.
So like strong. I loved it. Strong, pissed off Hangman's my favorite Hangman. Anybody can get it. That's basically what he's like. I don't care. It's like there's a straight line between me and Swerve, and there are two people in this world: people that got out of my way, or people that I'm gonna knock out of my way. And Hangman is just playing this role that he's playing right now perfect. I was always high on Hangman, but this is probably the highest I've ever been on him.
I think that's a pretty fair statement to make. We then had a sit-down interview with Jim Ross and the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. Now, I'm not going to dwell on this too much, but it was something I did notice. Was that JR lost a lot of weight, and he doesn't look great. If we're being honest, I'm not going to dwell on it too much because again, I don't know what this man's going through.
Yeah, he's been in the hospital 2 or 3 times.
I know he's had a
months.
couple incidences where he's gone to the hospital. I didn't know for what exactly.
Yeah,
but
and they don't give you the good food in the hospital. I mean, especially when you're his age. They give you the flavorless gruel. So I imagine he would lose weight being in the hospital.
Yeah, so that was just the only thing I was going to say.
All I can imagine is he went and got like a big plate of fried chicken as soon as he got out of the hospital or something.
I would hope so, man. Get some barbecue sauce on it.
As I say, hit up the Cracker Barrel. You know what I mean? So, no, he looks like an older white guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yeah, I hope, I 100, honestly, I want JR to be around for 100 more years if possible. But yeah, that's one that whenever it happens, hopefully very long time from now, oh my God, that's gonna break me because that's the voice of my life. Not the voice of wrestling. It's the voice of my life.
I understand totally.
Like when I used to dream of growing up to be a professional wrestler, it was always JR calling the match. You know what I mean? So it's like but in this case, I can say you might want to say it. I didn't. It was kind of hard watching it because
I understand
because like his voice wasn't his voice, and it was like this is what like JR was great on the calls, Austin 316, but that thing is when Mick Foley and him did the set down interview, and it literally changed Mick Foley's career, and that was like how you knew a wrestler was getting elevated in WWE is they were going to do a sit down interview with JR, and it was just like JR did it, and it's like I want JR around forever, but he might want to hand over the reins to somebody else. That's just my thought process. If that's disrespectful, I apologize because I mean no disrespect. It's just
I'm never going to be the person to call time on anybody when it comes to being a wrestler. I just can't. I can't say that because I don't know what people are going through and I don't know what people can handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I hope JR is okay because we love him so much. As long as he's okay and he says he's okay, I will go with what JR says.
I just think he could, in this case, take someone under his wing, and really make them great at what he did. And I think that might be more of his role now. And I think that would be a great role. Being the coach is the great role. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud, novice fan, no power. And if you want please ignore my opinion if you disagree with it. It's fine. It's just an opinion.
Yep, that's really all it is. So. Either way, we will go ahead and we will continue onward with the sit-down interview where Swerve said how he was motivated main eventing. He's motivated going into this match because he's going to be main eventing All In, and it means the world to him. You knock on the door long enough and they don't let you in, you got to make noise. And if you make enough noise, people finally listen. He knows what Bryan Danielson has left in him, knows how hard it is to fight, especially against me, because even before he gets to the World Championship, it's about legacy, because that's what is on the line for him. If the roles were reversed, though, who would anybody even give a damn about me? They shouldn't, so why should I? Do I care about him being a father? No. Do I care about him being a husband? Not really. Everyone always talks about what they're going to do when they're going to inflict pain on somebody else. What is he going to do when his body gives out on him? Not only can I beat Bryan Danielson at Wembley, I will, and his legacy will belong to me. So, yeah, I thought that was well done. Swerve spoke menacingly. He spoke very calm and calculated.
You got to see that side of Swerve we all know is there. You know what I mean? He's kind of played it down, after he won the title, and he was the quote-unquote good guy. He was the AEW guy, quote-unquote. But now somebody's coming for something that's his. And when you come for something that's his, you get the other Swerve. You get the running up in your house Swerve. You get the bleeding on your Swerve. You get that Swerve that you don't necessarily want. And I thought this interview showed a great him going back to that other role. Because I wouldn't call it, quote unquote, a heel turn.
No.
But you saw the serious, like, hey, I know I've been doing all this stuff and I'm Captain AEW and blah, blah, blah. But now someone's trying to come for me. And if you come for me, I'm going to take you out.
Yeah. And you best not miss, basically.
Yes, I don't care if you're a father. I don't care if you're old. I don't care if it's your first match. I don't care if your last match. If you're coming for me, I'm going to end you. And you know what? As a great scalp on a wrestler's legacy, I was Bryan Danielson's last match. I just felt like this was so well done. This was his point and his side of his point of view was so well done in this. But it definitely, I think the average fan is going to push the root for Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of idea I could too. Because again, it's Bryan freaking Danielson, and his career is it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement to make, though. So we then got into the trios match: Beast Mortos, Roosh, and Roderick Strong versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and his new partners, FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. All of them rocking the denim. And then you have, of course, Cash Wheeler with his own sunglasses, Dax Harwood going a step beyond with the Bret Hart sunglasses. And this match ruled. This match was so fire. Beast Mortos was a beast. It just beating the hell out of people. Roosh as well, just flying in there. Dax and Cash getting amazing tag offense in there as well. Now that I have it, FTROC is a thing that I like and I would like to continue to keep seeing, and I would love it if they just went for the trios titles right now. You have FTROC versus the Patriarchy. That's a match you can sell. It gives FTR something to do. It gives Orange Cassidy something to do. And it's a good opponent for the Patriarchy. I say make that match.
Well, put FTR on my TV anytime you want to. Surprise FTR is the best FTR. And you know what? They talk about being the heart and soul of AEW. They're off on Wednesday. They don't work Wednesday. They're chilling. They're chilling at home. Dax with his baby girl and Cash with his dogs. Chilling. And they say, hey, people might not come to work. We need you. They jump in a car and they get there to Winston-Salem. Heart and soul AEW. Just remember that.
I'm right there with you.
But I know they, you say it, that they live it. They live it.
Yes.
They live it. And this was a really fun match. Really fun. I love Roosh no-selling the orange punch. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. Didn't give a fuck.
I'm scared of your little punch. You give me you give me a little Orange Cassidy and Roosh at All In. I wouldn't get mad at that.
No.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I like me some Orange Cassidy. But yeah, I thought this match was fun. It was hard hitting. They love the Beast Mortos. I think he's on every show. I think he's on Rampage. He's on Dynamite. He's on Collision, and he's on ROH. I think he beat Mark Briscoe. He might be the number one contender for the ROH World Title now.
It's very possible.
No. Tony TK loves to be Morto, and I see why.
Dude is a beast.
For lack of a better word, right? A beast.
Yeah.
I love that power slam off the top. dude.
It's vicious.
Yes,
it's
and
vicious.
the mask and all that stuff. And I thought everybody was hard hitting. I've always been Roger Strone's always solid. I don't know if you've ever just like when you're. I'll tell anyone when you're in at the show, or if they're doing a wide enough shot, watch Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
They went live on Instagram during this match.
They are so fucking entertaining on the outside of the ring, and it's not done in a way, because I'm having to tell you, it's not done in a way that takes away from the match. They enhance the match. They're talking about how great Roddy is. They're talking about how tough Roosh is. They're talking about, the Beast Mortos being a beast. And it's just like, they do so much. Like, you've heard this wrestling so many times, make most of your time. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are 100% what they're talking about.
They are doing everything they can, and it's especially because with Adam Cole still not fully ready to come back, and that storyline kind of being pushed to the side right now. They need the Undisputed Kingdom needs all the help it can get, and they are doing their best to be able to make the most of their time. So I give them all the credit. Eventually, Orange Cassidy was able to get another an orange punch onto Roosh, sending him into Dax to set him up with the Shatter Machine with Cash. Gets the cover victory on Roosh, and Tony Schiavone called them OFTR. No, it's FTROC. Like, it's either OCFTR or FTROC, whichever one. Floyd, you're going to be the call on it. Is it FTROC or is it OCFTR?
I mean, I gotta go FTROC, but I mean, honestly, to me, it's just as simple as I feel like that rolls better than OCFTR.
That's what I think. You right?
Yeah, it's like it's not even. I don't care who's first. Like, I don't care who's first. Like, at all. I just think it sounds better. Maybe. I know I'm not buying the shirt because these partnerships generally only last like 2 weeks.
No, yeah, exactly. They will not. It will not last.
It will go the way of FT War in my back of my closet, not being touched.
Seriously. So love that. Afterwards, we had the Acclaimed come out, the World Tag Team the top contenders for the World Tag Team Championships. They walk out. Max is trying to rap, but his mic's not on. It says, "Sounds like the people don't want to hear you talk tonight, and neither do the people in the truck," basically. So he goes, I got respect for you guys and what you've done, but here's the problem. It's beyond AEW. We're real men. We're going to just do this right now. So, you have a top contenders for the tag titles, and then, FTR is trying to get themselves back up to being top contenders. So they start beating the hell out of each other. I will say Dax sounded a little bit blown up, and he seemed like he was not able to cut a promo at this point. He said, "I've never used words."
Yes. That was the exact line I was about to use. I was like, my boy Dax got blowed up.
That's what I'm saying.
He was tired.
He was gassed.
Like I said, he didn't know he had to work that day. So maybe he had already done his workout for the day or whatever, and then he had to wrestle too or whatever. I don't know. That North Carolina altitude, there's a lot of different reasons. But a novice's opinion, it seemed like he was a little out of breath. They had just wrestled a match. And yeah, he just said, fuck it, let's fight. And I you know what? I think it added to it. Because I think Dax and Cash are excellent promos. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're my favorite tag team ever. Almost pointless to say at this point. But I think this one needed heat. So I think them just fighting was what the feud needed. Because I don't think people have jumped on to care as much about the Acclaimed and FTR as everyone wants them to. So they needed a little more fire. I thought Acclaim's promo from Saturday night did a really good job. I felt like this added it. It is going to be, it is personal. And it's personal in the way that, hey, the Acclaimed is like, dude, we're here, and you're just trying to skip past us. You're cutting promos like we're not even standing here. We're here. And I love that. And FTR is like, no, but this is our spot. We're the best tag team in the world. This is our spot. That's all you need in wrestling. No one had to say anything about their mama or their kids or anything. I'm better than you. So I'm going to beat you because you're standing between me and getting to them. Pro wrestling.
That's all you got to do, guys. That's all you got to do. And I'm heavily into this match. I'm heavily into these guys going at it because it's two of AEW's best tag teams going at it, and it's if it's for the World Tag Team Championships, that gives more attention to that match when it actually ends up happening. Because, like, as much as I want the belts off of the Young Bucks as fast as humanly possible. Literally, two children could come out and win the belts off them, and I would already say you have got a better tag team champions. You got to get people wanting to go after the belts to take them off of the Young Bucks and give people a reason. So, like, this is a good thing. Like, having the contenders go at each other because they want to see who's the team to take the belts off of the Bucks.
Agreed. I agree all the way. I mean, like I said, we said it in April. I didn't want the Young Bucks to win because I always want FTR to win. But I thought the Young Bucks would be what was better for the tag team division because whenever someone beats them, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and it will be a big deal when that happens. So, moving on, though, we had the Patriarchy giving words to the Bang Bang Gang and the House of Black, continuing the Collision stuff, because he said it on Saturday. You're going to have Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black. They'll be determining who are the number one contenders for the trios titles. But he's like, I'm going to up the stakes. I'm a nice guy. I'm going to up the stakes for you boys. Winner of that match will face us at All In London. And since you seem to bicker and fight amongst yourself over who should be champions like children do, some order maybe need to be kept. So some discipline would need to be kept in form of a father. That's why I will be the special referee for said match. So we have Christian reffing a trios match between the Bang Bang Gang and the House of Black for the right to face them at All In London.
There's only one way this is going to end. It's going to end with a three-way trios match.
A three-way trios match. It's got to be the case. Because if you're expecting Christian to play by the rules or even keep any...
So it's funny because, going back to the previous thing, I feel like the Young Bucks are going to have something to do with FTR and Acclaimed, and we might end up getting a triple threat tag match. So you might see, I will call this the Bloodline and Judgment Day of AEW, where you have two parallel storylines that are going to just marry each other.
A little bit.
Yeah, because I feel like the only way, this happens, I mean, the Acclaimed versus Young Bucks at All In, sign me up. But I don't think you leave FTR off the All In card. So I think you're going to get a a three-way match that way, and then you're going to get another three-way match for the trios titles, which is cool because that's how you get the most people on the show. It's your biggest show of the year. You should get everybody on that you can.
Absolutely. So I'm all for that as well. I think it'll be good. We then have a 2-on-1 match between the Brickhouse Camille versus Jasmine Howe and Clara Carter. I'm going to say this real quick. Clara, whoever told you that outfit was okay, or whoever your gear designer is, fire them. Hire them back just to fire them again. Like,
they look like indie wrestlers.
I know, but like... No,
I'm just saying. They look like indie wrestlers. Like, you're going to be on TV tonight.
Yeah, like literally the local indie, not just like you were on.
Only saving grace is I'm hoping that this had to do with travel issues, and they were told like 10 minutes, like 30 minutes before the show that they had to be in the match. Not enough time to get good gear.
Yeah, because what the fuck?
It is. I'm like, again, gear costs a lot of money.
I'm aware, but I'm just saying, if someone signed that for you,
I know a lot of gear makers at Floyd Johnson Jr. If you hear this show, call me. I'll hook you up with a bunch of people that could in like a day that could have got you better than what you were wearing.
Now Camille though literally looked like a brick shit house. Like she looked like a badass.
She's one of the most, physically impressive women in wrestling. I'm like, she's in that Jade Rhea Ripley area where the moment they walk through any door, it's like, oh, there's the champion.
Like,
there's the star. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like, and I thought she looks impressive in this match. And dude, yeah, I am all about her finally being on TV. She's in the perfect role. They had her talk, and she her voice doesn't really match her face. She kind of did Batman voice.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she tried to sound deeper. I dig it. Yeah, she did. I said that about Jack Perry too. I was like, this was the show of Batman voice. I'm like, that ain't how you sound, dude. So,
yeah, no.
Yes,
Again, I expect that from some like dude who can't draw heat. So he's like, oh, listen to my deep voice.
Batman voice.
Yeah,
I'm Floyd. I'm Batman.
Yes, he thinks he sounds like Batman. In reality, like you have a high pitched voice like Bane. So
yes. No, it was just funny because I heard them like they both were like, I don't like definitely sounded like they lowered their voice. It was like they were my friends. I'd be like, did you have a cold when you were cutting that promo?
You want to explain that? Want to explain that?
I'm Batman. That's how you had to end it. I'm Batman.
Just end it like that, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
So Camille makes quick work of the indie wrestlers, and Mercedes talks about how don't even worry about chanting for DMD because she's not here. Shout out to my EVPs for suspending Britt Baker so we don't have to deal with her until All In. So they actually used the fact that Britt did get suspended over the shit on the MJF thing.
Did we talk about this last week?
We didn't talk about this, and I honestly don't care because here's the deal. She was, what was it, 1 week, 2 week suspension? Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's a 2 week suspension. Like, I don't care. Like, it's a nothing burger. Like, they had an argument. Like, she apparently said some ill shit towards MJF, which apparently, like I said, it was something about like how he went long, like he wrestled long, but like the girls don't get a chance to do that or whatever, which, I get that. That's an understandable thing to, be upset about. And apparently Alicia Tout, who is his current girlfriend, overheard and told MJF, and then he came to the locker room and they talked and had a discussion, and that led to MJF walking out and then walking away and then punching a wall. And then because MJF has more sway, apparently he doesn't get suspended, and then Britt Baker gets suspended for 2 weeks. Again, it's a 2 week suspension. It's a nothing burger. And in fact, they still had her on TV today.
I got a hot take.
Go ahead.
Which is probably the take you could all expect. I don't know what has to be done. I don't know who has to be hired. I don't know if they need to have a team meeting or whatever they need to do. And this is, they need to lock this shit down. This just shouldn't be something we know. This is work product. This is backstage shit. This literally brings nothing to AEW as a fan. I did not look for this. I didn't care about this. This was everywhere, right? This was online everywhere. I don't care that Britt Baker said something about MJF or didn't say something about the MJF. I don't care if Alicia told her boyfriend stuff. Those are their personal relationships in the backstage. I wish we didn't know about this. I wished I could just put the little Men in Black thing and forget it all.
Yeah, happened. The neuralizer.
Neuralizer and forget it happened. Because I don't need to know this shit. Because all this does, it's going to make MJF fans think they need to boo Britt. Which Britt is on the good side right now, and we need to be cheering Britt for the show. And then you're going to have Britt fans that be like, oh, yeah, MJF, AEW treating Britt Baker wrong. When none of us were fucking there. Britt could have been out of line. Britt could have been perfectly fine. I don't fucking know or care. This is work product that we should know about.
And again, it's and at the same time too, the more important thing about this whole ordeal, about why they need to lock this shit down, is that This is the second time heading into the biggest show of the year. People are talking about backstage shit as opposed to the match is going to be on the biggest show of your year. Like, how is this happening again? Where we have, and it's obviously on a completely different severity level. When what happened last year was a completely different severity level thing. This is minor shit, which we still shouldn't be privy to. But regardless, now you got people continuing with the whole like, oh, they're doing it again with All In, where all shit's going wrong, and everyone's now doing the side by side picture of he never truly left, and it's CM Punk's face next to Britt Baker's face, which is not even the same fucking thing. So knock that shit off.
Because guess who's not going to be working together? MJF and Britt Baker. They don't do that in AEW.
That's not a thing that would happen.
This is not leading to a program.
And Alicia Tout
is not a wrestler. That's why I'm like, that's why, like, that's my thing. Like, this can't lead to anything. This is only negative. Whoever leaked it, stop. Whoever flat out said it, stop. Please stop. And like I said, I do my best. I'm online, so I hear about these things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be like, I don't know anything. But dude, this was such a nothing thing for people to get mad about. This is two people that had a problem with each other that really didn't have anything to do with anything, right? She didn't go out to the ring and like MJF sucks or anything. It wasn't even on TV. This was all backstage shit.
And they didn't get into a fight. Like MJF, before he proceeded to get mad, he left the locker room, walked away, and then punched a wall because he's a very angry man.
Because you know what? It's Alicia's. To me, if that was my significant other, tell me. I don't care if you don't think it's anything. Tell me anyway. You know what I mean? So, to me, she's doing her part as a good partner to tell. I don't know. But, like I said, I don't know what Britt said. I don't know what was said. Like, all this stuff is conjecture. We haven't heard it from any of the people. But Fightful and everyone's reported it. So, Sean Ross Sapp usually waits until he hears it verified from a few places before he posts his shit. So, I tend to trust him. I still didn't need to know about it. It's not news. They just played it off as that she was suspended to keep her away from Mercedes. That's the only part I needed to know.
Yeah, is that they actively used it for TV.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like I will repeat it also too. I thought the cancer was cut out. Why are we continuing with the drama backstage? But like I said, that first of all, I'm not going to go down that road. But I'm just saying that maybe that wasn't your true problem. Maybe your true problem was people leaking shit.
Yes, I want you to find a dramaless environment in the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
and please point it out to me, because every story I've ever heard about Hollywood, TV, blah blah blah. It's literally nothing but drama. So like I said, I don't think this was especially newsworthy, but it just, a lot of stuff like this does more harm than it does good.
Correct.
Because there's no good that comes out of us knowing this.
There's not. So we'll just move on from that. So that's really all I want to say about this. Motherfuckers who be leaking shit, stop leaking shit.
Yes.
Because you're not helping your company.
Yes.
That needs a lot of help when it comes to avoiding this shit.
Yes. So. Your popularity, I wouldn't, is what it is right now. I'm not going to comment on the popularity. I don't know if it's good, bad, or whatever. I don't know the numbers. But this kind of stuff, especially around your hottest show, especially when you're at like 40, you're trying to get to 50, 60,000, you're trying to get the most buys popular, you don't want anything taken away from
and you're trying
momentum.
To get your rights renewed for TV.
And your TV has been so good the last, for the last month or so. That's what the focus should be. That you're putting on banger after banger after banger again. This is the Dynamite that we all loved. That's what should be the focus of the company.
Correct. So, knock it the fuck off. For real. So, anyways, Mercedes talked about that, how she got the EVPs to suspend Britt. She goes on over and over and over. But Tony Schiavone goes, I have been informed by Christopher Daniels that Tony Khan has overruled the Elite, lifting the suspension of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. So once again, your power is worthless. You offer nothing. Again, I will repeat myself. It's like, if you can just get overruled, then how dangerous of an EVPs can you possibly be when you're throwing out maybe we'll just vacate a title? Like, you can't do shit. Your power is worthless, just like your characters. So we then have Britt Baker actually via satellite saying how you can run, you can get a bodyguard, even get me suspended, but you can't stop me because this match is on at All In London, and it's just like I've been all in since day one. When I make a commitment to something, I see it through to the end, unlike you, because we know the second things don't go your way, you take your ball and go home.
Boom. That's the kind of shit.
Line to get dropped. We were waiting for it.
That's the kind of shit I want. That's rap.
We were waiting for it, and there it was. So she goes, you are not the future. Let's get real. AEW is just the flavor of the month for you, where AEW is home for me. Go ahead, walk your walk, talk your talk, count your money. But at the end of All In, when I become TBS champion and the first female in AEW to beat Mercedes Moné, that's where it ends at All In London. I have 7 days now to think of how I'm going to get my hands on you next week. And if you doubt for a single second that I won't be able to figure out a way, don't. Because you can trust me. I'm a doctor. Love it. Love it. Britt.
And trust me, I'm a doctor. I loved it. Yeah, this was great. And so the 5-year anniversary's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It is in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I will be wearing a Brit shirt to that show. I don't care that it's in Pittsburgh. She should win that's where she should win the TBS title. 5-year anniversary of the show. She's going to win the TBS title. If that is the ultimate plan, that's where it should happen.
I get that, but again, All In London is the show. You know what I mean?
Of course, come on, I'm gonna be there. I love it, but I think Mercedes should go over there and like they did it with Britt and Thunder. Remember?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, Britt beat Thunder, and everybody's like, "Why did Britt beat Thunder?" And then they're all like, "Oh, we were saving it for San Antonio. Save it for Pittsburgh, or save it for Pittsburgh. It don't matter to me. I'll be at both shows. So
exactly, whatever. I was gonna say it really doesn't matter too much for you because you'll be all good. But either way, we'll go ahead and we'll move on now. We actually got an announcement that 1 week from tonight on Dynamite, the Continental Champion, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada will go face to face with Claudio Castagnoli. This was based off of the 3-way match that we had on Collision, the Continental Collision 3-way, where Claudio beat Lee Moriarty and Tomohiro Ishii to secure a future title match against the Continental Champion. This match is gonna fucking go crazy when we get it. Like, are you like Okada versus Claudio? Fuck off! How good this match is gonna be good. Like, I'm like dying over how awesome this match is gonna be. Like, it's gonna be amazing. So I'm super excited for that face-to-face that we're going to get next week on Dynamite.
Dude, both in their suits. I'm like, I don't,
so badass.
I don't know if it's going to be that moment where I don't know if I want them to fight or if I want them to tag.
Right.
Because, both of those men know how to wear a suit. No disrespect to anybody. It's something you're born with. You got a body type or whatever. Those men know how to wear a suit. It's going to be great. They're going to face off. Claudio is like the respect. He is the respect of AEW. Like, if AEW, if you're somebody and you're going to be somebody in AEW, you got to go through Claudio. He is, Mox was the gatekeeper for a long time. But it's like Claudio's kind of stepped in that role as Mox has took him back, which I'm hoping Mox comes back soon. But, yes. Yeah, Claudio and Kazuchika Okada, main event, Dynamite, Collision, big match at All In, doesn't matter. That's the match I want to see. That's a dream match. And I know people don't like the term dream match, but when did you think Claudio and Kazuchika Okada, when they were in WWE and Kazuchika Okada was on his long title run, did you see this happening anytime soon? I didn't. So yeah, let's go. This is a dream match.
Absolutely, it is. I'm so excited for this match, and I'm excited for the face-off too. Because I mean, less we know how entertaining Okada's been just in general. So now you get him face to face with. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I want to mention too. If you guys are wondering why Jack Perry's vignette was cut off by a Taco Bell ad, it was Okada's fault. He pressed the wrong button.
Yeah.
Okada again, Okada is the gift that keeps on giving.
Correct.
Taco Bell has now a new gift that I didn't even know that I needed, but I have. And Jack Perry is a gift that is wanted by nothing. He's basically like that. Do you remember that kid who got the present where he goes, an avocado? Thanks. That's what happens when a kid finds out that he's going to watch Jack Perry on TV. Jack Perry. Thanks.
Jack Perry's the man, sir.
To who? To who?
To me. To me. I grew up on Luke Perry, 90210. Now I got Jack Perry. Perry's been in my life for a long time. But no, he's one of those people. Actually, you hating him makes me like him more, and I don't know if that's just the contrarian in me. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just the contrarian in me.
I was gonna say
you hating on him so hard. Like I've never really felt any emotion towards Jack Perry whatsoever. But.
Because I can bring out more emotion for you towards Jack Perry than Jack Perry can bring out to you on his own.
Yes,
that's the reason behind it. And the only reason why you're not doing it with the Young Bucks is because FTR would always have your heart. Like Young Bucks are number 2 for you right there. So like me hating on the Bucks doesn't really change anything in that regard. Whereas like I give you a reason to even think about Jack Perry because, God knows he needs other people who like Pepsi to make him interesting,
Yes.
But, yeah. Anyways, Dynamite main event, anything goes. Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson, the match to set up Bryan Danielson for All in London. Jeff Jarrett wants to make sure he is fully ready and he is prepared for everything. Special guest, we had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on commentary as well for this match, but Bryan Danielson makes his entrance, and Jeff Jarrett jumps him. It hits him in the back with a guitar, and then he drops the guitar on the ground, and it shatters, which I was just like, no, it was okay for a minute, then you broke it. He's like, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. And you weren't ready for me to jump you right there. You got to be ready. Karen and Jay were not really sure about why he was being like this, so, but they couldn't stop it.
Dude, I love this. I love this. Like, I irrationally love this. He has met and dealt with Swerve. He's dealt with people like Swerve. He's been wrestling for 40 years, right? He knows that Swerve will do anything to keep his title. So he's like, hey, you're the Owen Hart Cup winner. You're representing the legacy of my once tag team partner. I'm going to make sure you're ready. I'm going to pull out every dirty trick. I'm going to do every dirty thing I can. And you need to win anyway. Because that's what Swerve's going to do.
Yeah.
And I think they told it with physicality. They didn't need the announcer explaining it to you, whatever. No. They just told it with the actual in-match story. That Jeff Jarrett, in whooping Bryan Danielson, was showing how much he loved Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, and also too at the same time too, because like this is the perfect role for Jeff, because I thought Jeff being involved was kind of just like an afterthought for me, but him being involved in this way fits way better, way better. So these guys fought all over the arena. They fought into the concourse. There was one. I don't know if you saw this. There was one brother that was up there that was going crazy. Like he was just like he was like full on like world star kind of like energy that he was giving towards this fight, like that he was watching. He was going ballistic. Like I don't know if you noticed it, but it was just one fan in particular that I did like,
not. I didn't see
this dude's going crazy. He's going nuts. Throwing trash cans over each other, popcorn flying everywhere. These guys are beating the hell out of each other. we get them into the ring eventually, and Jarrett's still using that steel chair that he was using in the early parts of the match. But eventually, he mounts up a bit of a comeback. These guys do some really good stuff, and then it leads all the way to Bryan Danielson hitting an amazing Busaiku knee, where he takes the chair and he puts it in front of his knee, and then he uses it to hit Jeff Jarrett in the face. Really, really good finish. Really, really, really good finish. We get the victory, and Sanjay, Karen Jarrett, and Jay Lethal check on Jeff. Wheeler Yuta actually comes out congratulating Danielson, making an appearance. Steamboat comes down. Everyone's showing respect to each other. And then Swerve Strickland's music plays. And he goes, hold on to all the sappiness, love and joy, because the champ has entered the building. And he goes, look at this. 3 great legends of TBS programming. Jeff Jarrett, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and now Swerve Strickland. Like that. Love that. Like I said, these men define pro wrestling on this network, but the difference is, Brian, we've all been world champions here. Only thing standing between you and this world title is me. And you're one of the greatest of all time. That's why it's going to be a huge honor when I retire you and end your career. Your legacy becomes mine. I do not hesitate when I take that kill shot. He's like, you had a heck of a match. You feeling all right? Your leg's a little wobbly. Back giving out on you. You're losing some feeling in your fingers. Because if that's what Jeff does to you, then just imagine what I'm going to do for you. So he said, I want a bit of a warm-up, though. I want to get tested. So I need a sparring partner. Next week on Dynamite, I step in the ring and go one-on-one with Wheeler Yuta. I had to sit back and watch you go one-on-one with Jeff Jarrett. Next week, though, I want you a front row seat, and I want to show you why I'm the most dangerous man in AEW. So nice challenge there to, show out and get some momentum going into All in London. And again, Swerve's promo is, I love him just being like, how you feeling? You're starting to get a little bit of a soreness, wooziness. I just love the way that he talks like that. It's so good, and a really nice way to close out Dynamite. I thought this was a fun match leading into a nice promo from Swerve, and then we get a nice build towards what we're going to get next week as Swerve gets ready to show just what he's going to do to Bryan Danielson at All in London.
So we got a few weeks before All in London. I actually leave next Sunday. I'll leave next Sunday, which is awesome. But as we get ready, as we head towards All In, I want Swerve to remind him that one of his finishers is literally a kick to the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Bryan Danielson's thing. Concussions is why he didn't wrestle for years. Concussions. He was out again with concussions. Literally one of his moves is kicking you in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just remind him of that.
Just give him a little reminder.
Don't lean too heavy on it, but just like, you do know one of the things I do is just kick people in the head. Yep. It's like, that's what I do. So I don't know. I loved it. I love this energy. I love this big fight feel. I feel like we got what is it? 2 more Dynamites?
Yeah.
So it only can get more personal. And I think they're hitting the right tone on it. Because you don't want Swerve to be full out evil, right? Because he reserved that for getting the title. For getting what is his.
Right.
You don't want him to be full out evil. But you want to remind people how dangerous and psychopathic he is. How that side of him can come out at any time. How Prince Nana's just waiting for the word. And then, the head wrap comes out and it'll be used. And I'm waiting. I'm watching all of this and I'm enjoying it. And they're doing a great job. This is a master class in taking something that, wasn't hot and making it personal. And that's how Swerve lives. If you looked at his whole thing, his whole title reign is that he wants it to be personal. Will Ospreay tried to keep it from being personal. And no.
No.
My belt is personal to me. You coming to the belt is personal to him. And so every time you come after him, it's personal. And I love that.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really, really great. That is going to do it for the episode of Dynamite. Now, in terms of what we're going to have for Rampage and Collision this week, what we've got currently is we're going to have Private Party in action. We're going to have Darby Allin going one-on-one with The Butcher. We're going to have Saraya going one-on-one with Nyla Rose. We're going to have Wheeler Yuta versus Rocky Romero with Bryan Danielson on commentary. And we're going to also hear from Dustin Rhodes on the show. So that's what we got for Rampage. In terms of Collision, of course, we're going to get House of Black versus Bang Bang Gang, #1 contenders match for the trios titles at All In with Mr. Christian Cage as the special guest referee. And we're also going to get Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo in a bull rope match. Yes, please.
I forgot that was on this show. I forgot that was on the show. Now I'm really disappointed I'm not going to be there this week. I'm not going to be there this week, for y'all, all of you that care, Crystal has COVID.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So Crystal has the shit. So I, being the person I am, is acting as if I have the shit. I am actually completely asymptomatic, if you can tell. Been no coughing or anything.
Right.
Completely asymptomatic. But I could be a carrier, and there will be a little over 1,000 people at Collision. I always say hi to Sam and Cash and Dax. When they see me, they come up and say hi. So the last thing I want to do is get anyone else sick. So I am keeping my ass here. So I gave my tickets to my friend Jackie. She will, not Jackie Rodriguez, but another Jackie. She will be there representing my teams for me because she's awesome. But yeah, I won't be at the show this week, which sucks. But they have not announced FTR versus the Acclaimed. So for some reason, I think they might be holding that to next week, which next week I will be at the show.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be excited to have you go into that show. Like I said, I'm itching for when I get to go to All In. All Out in Chicago in a couple of weeks. I'm waiting for that moment, so I can't wait to see what matches we get for that. That's gonna be because I missed Double or Nothing. I wasn't able to be at Double or Nothing with y'all, so I'm glad I get to finally be back to an AEW show. I've missed this shit, so
absolutely.
But that's what we got as we continue down the road to All In London. And we only have one other piece of news that we'll talk about real quick before we wrap things up.
Lucha Bros. Looks like rumors are abound that they are WWE bound. They are still technically under contract with AEW, so I think they can field offers, but they can't sign anything or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, but, because I don't remember when their contracts are up exactly.
Yes, but apparently WWE has an offer. AEW has apparently matched the offer. These are all rumors. There's rumors and innuendo, so take it with a grain of salt. But the idea that they went and trademarked the names King Fuego and King Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which I find weird because the WWE usually handles those trademarks.
Right.
The fact that they trademarked it themselves generally means that they might be going out on their own. So, I don't know. Have no idea. I wish them the best. I love the Lucha Bros. It is strange that FTR signed with the company, and I had this dream because there was the Young Bucks, there was FTR, there were the Lucha Bros, and there was Proud and Powerful. And they were all under the same roof. My 4 favorite tag teams at the time. Mm-hmm. All under the same roof. And I was like, man, we're going to get some epic rivalries. This is going to take the tag division to a whole nother level. And it's kind of hilarious that, of course, FTR and the Young Bucks have had amazing matches, right? The Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros have had amazing matches. But the other most memorable feud for me is FTR and the Briscoes, which I wouldn't even include it in my 4 favorite matches. Unfortunately, the Proud and Powerful with FTR was snake bitten. And the Lucha Bros, I don't know if it was a chemistry thing or the work thing, but they just never had that match. So it was like what I had built in my head. I don't think they ever could have matched. But yeah, it didn't turn out the way I want to. And with what the tag division is now, they're trying to heat it up again. They're doing their best to try to heat it up again. I don't really blame them. You know, and they are people that like to work a lot. If you notice about the Lucha Bros, they like to work a lot. When AEW and they were only once a week, they were generally doing 2 or 3 indie shows a weekend, Mexico, wherever they could work. So they like to work a lot. So that schedule might be, you know, like in WWE, might be more conducive to what they're used to. But I will say this, 100%. They're the next star. They're the next it team if they go to when they go to WWE. They're the next it team. They're masked. They wrestle a way that no one else wrestles.
Oh yeah.
The crowd will automatically attach to them. I think they're the guys in WWE in very short order because I thought they would be the guys in AEW. I always said they had a unique look. Cero Miedo. What do people like to do in WWE? They love chanting shit. That Cero Miedo is going to be going crazy. NMO is going to be going crazy because they love chanting shit. So, yeah, I think they have everything they need to be great in the WWE, and they never have to cut a promo.
Pretty much, yeah. I and they've done great things in AEW, but seemingly they've just got nowhere else to go in AEW. They've won the tag titles. They've had incredible matches. They've been part of Death Triangle, and they've done great trio stuff. They've had some slight singles success, and you've also had Penta with his Penta Oscuro stuff. So they've done a lot, and they've been here since the jump. But seemingly, like, they've kind of hit a wall, and, you know, they want to see what else they can do, which I completely understand, and I think that's all in their ability to do so. And wherever they do go, like I said, if it is WWE, even if they choose to go somewhere else, wherever they go, they will be hugely massive to whatever company they go to. So,
yeah, they're the guys. I will always be fans of, no matter what company they work for. And like I said, but you got to think about it. Because, you know, maybe they're not being used now, but Rey Fenix, former international champion, former tag team champion, former trios champion. Pentagon, former tag team champion, former trios champion. They've always, what's their group called? Death Triangle has always been important. They've always been important in the group. So I don't think so. It just might be, hey, let's try something different. I've been here for 5 years. Yeah. I always wanted to work for WWE. Let's go see what it's like. I can always come back. Leave on good terms. You can always come back.
And then the one last thing I'll mention, too, is that they did post on social media backstage. Jeff Jarrett was being interviewed after Dynamite, and he got jumped by Adam Page. Hangman and Jeff Jarrett were fighting. And then they even had Tony Storm and Mariah May continue to fight backstage. So it just became a whole fucking mess of a brawl backstage. So Jeff Jarrett and Hangman and Page, Jeff just, you know, he said, Hangman said, you get in his way in terms of what he wants, you are going to feel his wrath. So, and then of course Mariah and Tony are incredible. I would watch them fight anywhere. So, all I think we got to say, though, on this episode of All Things Elite.
Oh, yeah. I did want to add this. There was this article, and they had said people got in a wild backstage brawl breaks out in AEW, and it happened in front of Tony Khan. And it was literally the worked fight.
Yes.
God damn it, I hate clickbait. I hate it so much. I didn't click on it. I didn't click on it because someone was nice enough in the comments to say, hey, this was the backstage angle that everyone knows about. But it made AEW sound so bad.
Right.
Yeah, no.
In front of Tony Khan, did he fear for his life? You know?
Hey, let's be real. I saw the UFC fights. The last person I would fear for my life when it comes to is CM Punk.
I would fear for my life if Tony Storm and Ryan May were fighting near me, because quite frankly, I would be fearing for my life and any significant other that I am with if I saw that, because I'd have to be the knight in shining armor to be like, ladies, we don't need to fight.
I'm just jumping in. I'm just like, whatever. Let me hold you apart or whatever. No, I'm just like, no, I don't know. I would stay as far away from that as possible because
I was gonna say that would cause me to.
I was gonna say I will end up on video and arrested for something I didn't even do. I don't even know why I'm getting arrested. I was just no.
I was just here, dude.
I'm gonna hey, I learned. I have 8 sisters, as you all know. I've learned when women fight, back the fuck off. That's all I know. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Stay 10 feet away. So no, that would be fun though. But that's it, right?
That's all we got. That's everything that we've got in this episode of All Things Elite. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to All Things Elite. We appreciate your guys' support. If you guys enjoy the show, continue to download it on Google or on YouTube Music or Apple Podcasts. You listen to us on Spotify, wherever you choose to listen to us on. Please give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod. Follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible and have a bunch of incredible shows you guys should check out. I am at Austin Sumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. My buddy Floyd, go ahead and you can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
Dude, a lot of stuff's about to happen in a very short amount of time when it comes to me. London, NFL season starting, college season starting, fantasy football, all the wrestling. Dude, it's about to be crazy. I'm going to try to do my best to stay available when people message me and stuff, but just letting you know, my life is about to be very hectic. My very, very non-hectic life, I would say my life is damn near boring, chill. It's about to be hectic for about the next month and a half, so forgive me if that causes any problems or delays. We're going to try to get the show out every day. I can tell you now, All In, I will be in London, so yeah. Unless something, we probably won't be doing the show until later that week.
Yeah.
It'll be like the latest All In review ever, but it's coming. It will definitely come.
It'll come.
It will definitely come. But between Austin covering all the football he has to cover and me traveling, us syncing up our schedules, this is time of year might even be worse than what the last few months have been.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, so I just thought we should prepare you for that. I usually use this time to uplift you, but I figure with you being all loyal listeners to the show, especially if you're staying this long, that we just warn you that, we might be a little irregular over the next few months as football season and everything kicks up. But yeah, I want to do a big show for the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. I don't know what that'll entail. But I just know I want to do a big show for the 5-year anniversary. But with that, those are all the notes that I have for you. I will leave you as be nice to people, be kind to people, and if you're in ability to help someone in a way that they can't help themselves, make sure you do it. And I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it's home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.